Welcome back to the Goonie Van. Today, I'd like to start with a reminder that sometimes campsites are Walmart parking lots. Sometimes you can barely fit and there's no flat spot. Other times, there's random body parts hanging on trees, attracting flies, and are stank. But if you're lucky, the view is better than your cell phone and there's room to let your best bud run around. We are rewarded with some rock spires as we head south on Colorado 131 to Vail, where I pick up our new Vevor branded air compressor from Home Depot. This one is virtually the same as the Smittybilt air compressor that died, but it comes with a little bit different hoses and fittings. Almost everything else bolts up, which makes installation a breeze, although a bit cramped. I had installed a pressure regulator and a pressure switch on the old compressor. This let me set a pressure for the tires, and once it hit that pressure, it would automatically switch off the compressor, which was really convenient. Unfortunately, I didn't think about future compatibility when I installed this, so it wasn't really feasible to reinstall the system with the new pump in a parking lot. Too bad. But now I have to stand around and stare at the pressure like a simple peasant instead of being able to walk around and enjoy my coffee and the view. I also took the opportunity to tape over the annunciator on the AC unit. It seemed to be the same frequency as a smoke detector, which gave Moab PTSD every time we pushed a button. So this silenced it and he won't freak out, but we could still keep him cool. And finally, I installed the 50 amp converter. We rely heavily on the alternator and DC-DC charge controller to charge the house batteries, but if we stay stationary for too long, the 200 watts portable solar we have can only do so much. Now we have the option to plug in the van to a 120 volt AC outlet and charge the batteries. Although it would be really cool to use those free level 2 EV chargers. Maybe in the future. We headed south on 133 and came across some old coke ovens dating back to 1899. Apparently they were abandoned not long after, and for some time hippies, tried living in them. It was pretty neat and we had to pull over and check it out. Show me your eating technique. A little further south, we came across the Paonia, reservoir, which was very low, extremely muddy, and had generated its own topographic map along its exposed edges. It was so cool to look at. And suddenly, I wanted some chocolate layer cake. As we were leaving, we came across the outlet of the reservoir that joined with a freshwater stream, showing the contrasting watercolor, which was so cool. But now I want a PBJ sandwich. We made our way to Crested Butte over Route 12 and Keebler Pass, which had some awesome mountain views. Once we got to Crested Butte, it was nice to get out and stretch our legs. We happened to cross a farmer's market, which was shut down the main street, so we got to check that out and some of the local artwork. Careful. After checking out the farmer's market, we did some laundry and some local hikes just to check out some of the lakes in the area and pass the time. Moab woke us up in the middle of the night. He was running around and licking himself all over. We thought he had fleas or some kind of small critter, but we checked him all over and found nothing. Finally, we remembered he had an allergic reaction some years ago in Colorado and had similar symptoms. So we gave him a wet wipe bath to get any of the pollen off and an allergy pill. He finally settled down and slept like a rock. Shout out to Terry for giving us the wipes. Love you, Mom. Not knowing exactly what gave Moab the heebie-jeebies, we decided to move on rather than stick around and do biking in the area. Some moose were there to send us off, and we made our way to Cottonwood Pass for some beautiful views. Crested Butte will be, from this point forward, referred to as Crusty Butte. We made it to Little Scraggy, and I snagged one of the few spots with cell phone signal. We knew where to look after having visited here many times before, and passed up quite a few other spots for this one. Moab gets a haircut as he's getting a little scraggy himself. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.